Guess we should explain the white hats first.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. So go ahead and share this on your guys' Facebook real quick while this is booting up before we hit the live button on the whatchamacallit.
Okay. I just know that not to wear green on a green screen. I learned that the hard way. Once we get to that point.
Tag Arizona State University on my post. So forks up? Question mark. I can make a watch party from here too. Right? Oh yeah, cool. So I had that going at the same time.
You tagged us already?
If you go to the Go for Two page, you can share it from there.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We got here. Hello, guys. Hello. We got some people joining us.
All right. Always good to have
Hey, Lori, how's it going?
one of our faithfuls.
Yes. All right. Let's see. Get my mic right here. All right, so I'm about to press record on the actual audio stream. Shout out to everybody on Facebook that's watching us. Hi, world. How you doing?
Great day to be in Delaware.
Great day to be in Delaware.
It is.
Absolutely.
Clear skies, sunny, no rain.
Yep.
Live in studio.
Live in studio. All right, let's go ahead and get this started. You guys won't hear the coveted intro by my wife today just because, I didn't have time to set that up. But, hey, this is makeshift. This is our first time doing it all together with a webcam. So, all right. Cool beans. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 22 of the Go for Two podcast. Man, oh man.
Yeah.
22.
Woo.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll get a little bit into why we say forks up today. But if you could tell by the hats, if you listen to our last podcast, Arizona State, we predicted them to win the Pac-12 this year.
That's right.
You played to win the game.
Hey, man, I need to include that soundbite. You play to win the game.
That's it, man.
Herman Edwards and those boys out there rocking it out, trying to get them their one of those Pac-12 wins that they usually don't get.
Yep.
Because of all the coveted teams out of the Pac-12. I mean, you can go down the list: Oregon, UCLA, all those teams that have just been so much better than them. But I think this is the time for the Sun Devils to come and win one.
I
Yes.
like it.
So if you could tell by the hats, Don got us some hats.
Yeah.
Tag Arizona State. Tell them that we're out here talking about them because we're going to be watching them closely. I know it's going to be some long nights on Saturday nights for us.
Yeah.
I know, Nelson, you getting up for church the next day. What was you
Amen,
watching?
brother.
Man, we was
Yeah.
watching the Sun Devils. You was watching what? Peace and blessings, brother. It was not like that.
Yeah.
So this is everybody's favorite couch quarterback, Dante. And I'm here with my man, Don, the stats guru.
I am here.
And the one and only Nelson Drew, the running back.
Peace and blessings, everybody.
Hey,
How you
man,
doing?
this is going to be a good show here. So today, as you know, we're going to be talking about the NFC North and South. We're going to get that out the way. And then we're going to head over to the Big 12, those big country boys down there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say they're the biggest conference because we'll say that for the Big 10 next week.
But you got 10 games. Congratulations to the Big Ten.
Yeah, like I was telling the guys before the show, Texas A&M really missed out on, trying to win a championship. Like, you left the Big 12 way too early.
Yeah.
But, to each their own. They got Jimbo Fisher out there who's got himself into some hot water. We can get into that a little later. But as we know, COVID's going on with everybody right now. We got the NBA back strong. We got the NHL. Shout out to the Dallas Stars. We got smashed by the Avalanche, so we really need to win against the Blues.
And of course, the team everybody's afraid of right now, the Philadelphia Flyers.
Yes, they can. You know, not to get all into hockey, but the Philadelphia Flyers always start out slow, then have a resurgence in the middle of the season, and then the last 5 games that they need to win, they don't win.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, we actually saw a Flyers game this year before COVID happened.
Yeah.
They look good.
They do look good.
I think they're back. I think next year, I don't think this is the year that they're going to win. There's too many other good teams out there right now, but NHL, yeah, they're doing it right.
Yep.
You got the MLB back.
Yeah.
For those baseball fans,
Right.
Shout out to my boy Joe Kelly. He's actually made me like baseball a little more.
Yeah.
8-game suspension, I don't think was well deserved. I know we hit you guys up on Facebook on that too, and I think all of us could collectively agree that the Astros are going to deserve this the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah.
The commissioner is holding their hand, talking about that the trophy was just a piece of metal. No, I mean, you don't work all season to get to this point to consider this just a piece of metal.
Right.
Theoretically, it is, but this is a trophy to show your accomplishments.
Right.
And you're, as the commissioner, this is something that you give to the team on that day that they win.
This
but
is a goal that's met at the end of the season.
That's it.
yeah,
That's it.
I totally don't understand why baseball is the way it is, but I know Don wanted to hit up on a couple things today. As far as like this whole situation's going on. Shout out to my boys at Liquid Death. It's just water, it's not beer, guys.
Well, keeping in mind with the talks of COVID and how it's affecting the sports nowadays, we've had quite a few players in the NFL hit the opt-out already. 1, 2, 3 players on each team. The 2 teams that stand out with the most right now, the Cleveland Browns have 5 players holding out or opting out. But the talk has got to be the New England Patriots. 8 players opting out.
And the Tom Brady of that defense, Dante Hightower.
Yeah.
Big blow.
Yeah.
Is this just what's real and what's happening now? Or is there a little something behind it to tank the season?
Well, I know that if they opt out, they get $150,000.
Correct.
That might be pocket change compared, to what, they are making. But the game is bigger when it comes to your family. I'm sorry, the family is bigger than the game. So, when you got to take in consideration, some of these guys may have lost somebody from COVID, or they might have someone that is affected that's in their inner circle. You can't blame them. You can't fan bash and say, you know what, you're supposed to be playing for the Buffalo Bills, you're supposed to be playing for the Cleveland Browns, you're supposed to be playing for the New England Patriots, but realize these guys have lives too.
Yep.
They're human beings. They got family. So if they decide to take a year off, because this year is already crazy as it is, but if they decide to take a year off and tend to their family, that's their choice. We as fans, yes, we have the right to have our season tickets. We have the right to voice our opinions, but realize it's a business, right? This is their personal lives. They're affected. No one else in this United States is naked or can escape COVID right now.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
this is a personal decision, and I respect it.
Yeah. I know Tre'Davious White
Yes.
from the Bills got a lot of flack. And he said that he would come back and play. I think he was kind of pressured back into it by the fans, no matter what he wants to say. But the fans don't have a right to say anything. Oh, these people you can't just walk out of work. Well, technically you can't. You risk losing your job. But we really got to think about what Tre'Davious White is really talking about here. It's really, he is walking away from a lot of money as well, if he was to fully opt out. But at the end of the day, you don't know what family problems that he has. And the thing that people are not talking about, this dude worked his whole life to get to this point in time. Yes, he might have a lot of money, and he could probably quit tomorrow and be all right and take care of his family, but he worked hard to get to that point. So there, you have no right to say what he wants to do or can do. Yes, he is fortunate enough where he can walk out of work. but are you fortunate enough to walk out of your work?
Exactly.
The dude worked hard, man.
Yeah.
Like anybody that's at a high level playing any type of sport, whether it's NHL, MLB, soccer, these guys make millions and millions of dollars for a reason to entertain you, and you knuckleheads continue to come back and give them your money and keep watching. So, hey, the formula is working. So you got to play the players what they're worth.
Yep.
You cannot tell somebody that has worked hard their whole life and set their family up for success at that point in time that they can't walk away from something. And the NFL is their employer. And if their employer says it's okay, we'll give you a stipend, then you had to just shut up.
Yeah.
You know? Because at the end of the day, and I know at the establishment that me, Don, and Nelson work for, there's been a policy in place. Mm-hmm. If you have COVID, we'll pay you. A lot of places are like that right now to run the risk of not infecting other employees. I guarantee some of the people that have been calling out do not have COVID. They just don't want to work, so they're playing this system. I mean, it's going to happen everywhere. There's loopholes everywhere, and people are going to start figuring this out. And I know some people are unemployed and unable to work, and I don't take what I'm saying for granted at all. I mean, because my family was indirectly impacted by the unemployment spike as well. But at the end of the day, you cannot just not go back to work because you're getting a stipend that's worth more than what you're making. So now we're to the point where the government's like, I don't want to give you that much money to influence you not going back to work. One bad apple ruins the whole tree every single time.
111 spoils the whole lump.
Yep. So, I mean, we'll see what the NFL is doing. I know some players are unhappy with the way that some protocols are being handled. Some people just want to get back to playing football. Yeah. Others want to be very safe for their family that's out there. So, I mean, all these opinions that the players are giving it are very warranted. And with the MLB not doing as good with their protocols, I think they're probably like the last on the totem pole. When it comes to how cautious they are with their bubble that's going on. I think the NFL is like the biggest sport in our country is really under a microscope right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think wearing face shields during playing football is really going to solve anything. Yeah. Because if I'm going to spit on you, I'm going to spit on you.
This is a respiratory, issue. So, if you think about the high-risk sports, you have wrestling, you have basketball, and pretty much the highest one on a contact sport is football. Right. So it's hard to not spread that disease if you have it on the football field. But, like the NFL, they got money to get tested every day. You get that email, you get that green light, you're on the field. But you just don't know.
But you're looking at these other models of hockey and basketball, and they kind of have their bubble situation. Mm-hmm. And then you have baseball, who's not necessarily in a bubble situation. They did consolidate the divisions and everything, but they're not the contact sport like the other sports. Mm-hmm. And you think, wow, these guys got it made. Man, they are the worst scenario right now.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, we just wanted to hit on that too, because that's been probably the biggest thing, and I know Don's got one more thing for us as well.
Yeah, we'll hit something in the college ranks, just discussion, see what you guys think.
Yeah.
So, a new addition to the ACC this year, Notre Dame.
They've been.
Yeah. What do you think?
They've been dabbling into the ACC.
A little bit. Yeah.
I mean,
just 1 year? Are they going to push for it after
I don't think there should be any independent schools, if you want my honest opinion, because you can just kind of pick and choose what you're gonna do.
To me, this holds them accountable. Okay, you win your independence conference every year because you're the best team. Now let's see if you're going to actually get a chance to even sniff the conference championship. I mean, ACC, you got to realize that you got Clemson, you got Pittsburgh, and you got a lot of other colleges that are just chomping at the bit, waiting for another big-time school to come in. Notre Dame, you got your invitation. Let's go.
There you go.
Well, it's funny because, all of a sudden, when they do come in the ACC, they're playing, Wake Forest.
Yeah.
Really? Wake Forest has been trash for like I don't know how many years now. Yeah. They haven't won
since 2012, man.
Yeah, I mean when Riley Skinner was still their quarterback there, and they were winning the ACC at that time, which was unprecedented for for Wake Forest. But like, come on, let's be real. That was basically putting like a Division III school on your calendar and being like, well, we got to go to Wake Forest. Like, there's no competition. We know that Notre Dame is going to recruit well. So let's see. Let's put your money where your mouth is. And anytime they do play a big team and people talk about how talented they are, they always wind up like losing to these bigger teams anyways. Oh, remember? Oh, snap. They're in the top 4. They're going to go to the NCAA championship and then end up not making it because they get beat by somebody that's better than them. Yeah. They better watch out for USC. That's their rival.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the ACC championship between Notre Dame and Clemson. It's going to be a nice ratings, but it's going to be a nice competition amongst the two prestige programs.
So I don't know if they have, but have they talked about what they're going to do for a national championship if everybody's playing within their conference? Is there going to be a national championship, or is this going to be like an asterisk just to build up the rankings for next year?
You do have teams that have already canceled their whole season in the NCAA. And then you got other ones who say we're definitely playing these games. So will they have a whole year? I don't know, man.
Well, they're going to bring it back to the 90s. As you remember, back in the 90s, there was never a tournament. They had bowl games, and you kind of had the ratings of, okay, Washington was number 1 or Michigan was number 2, and it kind of had the social media, well, back then the news journal basically, or the paper saying, okay, this team was pretty much dominant in each conference. But they're going to bring it back to the old school, so it's going to be, okay, you got ACC champs, you got power schedule, then you got Big Ten champs, their power schedule, and they're going to get back to what they used to do, try to figure out who's number 1. But it's never going to be a definite national championship because, of course, there's no bowl games.
Right. Yeah. It's weird. It's truly weird. I don't know what they're gonna do, man. I'm very interested, but get Condoleezza Rice and the dude that was the AD for whatever Oregon out of there. Like, they have no opinions in this. It should be old coaches, old assistant directors or athletic directors, and people that have been involved with the sport, like Bob Stoops and stuff like that should be included on this.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have Condoleezza Rice in the current AD from Oregon as the chairman right now? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Of course he was going to influence. They had to take him out the room. So, really, your count of 20 people just went to 19.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Condoleezza Rice, we respect you as a congresswoman, but stay in your lane. Football is one thing, but
it's just weird.
But if Condoleezza Rice can come on our show and break down, from stats to stats, from conference to conference, and strength to schedule, and she can make sense of it all, you're more than welcome. But
yeah, I know we're speaking in terms of like we know what she was doing, but if she's just there. Now, if she was there just to give a structural, like, this is how you should do it, but her vote is actually counting in a lot of these rankings, which is like, do you even know who Trevor Lawrence is? I mean, do you know? You know that he's the quarterback of Clemson, but do you know his impact to the team? Do you know that he replaced Kelly Bryant, a couple years ago, halfway through the season? Do you know things like that? But if she's there for a structural standpoint, I can totally see that. She's been in war rooms and things like that before. But it's just weird. Yeah. It's always going to be weird to me that you're going to bring these random people in. That's like NASCAR bringing in the CEO of Starburst just because they got their sponsor on the side of the car and be like, you know what? Next year, your championship should be structured this way. Right. Well, why? Because it benefits you and your, it's weird.
Or Kenny Jeff Smith being on NHL Live talking about, the Anaheim Ducks. You know what I mean? It's like Kenny Jeff Smith, you never put on skates before ever in your life. You know what I mean? You was on the hardwood. Like,
that's why it's so funny when people like Stephen A. Smith talk about like MMA and then get into it with Joe Rogan, and then it's like, you just sit down. I mean, I understand that you like sports, but like Joe Rogan trains with these dudes. He knows the fighters. He's been commentating since the middle 90s. Like, this dude knows the sport.
Right.
and I think I would take Joe Rogan's opinion over yours, but I would take your opinion over basketball over Joe Rogan's.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Well, that's fair.
Respect goes both ways. That's why I think shows like First Take and stuff like that, they're a little iffy. You know, it's like when Max Kellerman starts talking about boxing and try to go back and forth with Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. is gonna be like, "Well, I have very good respect for the brother. I know him personally. I don't care."
He do know these guys personally, though.
Yeah.
He has interviews
I
with these
texted
guys.
my little brother the other day and asked him how he was doing
Right.
leading up to this fight.
I was at Mike Tyson's pigeon coop, and we just basically had a good conversation about how he's going to tear their heads off, And Roy Jones, he got no chance. No chance.
It's crazy, man. So let's go ahead and lead over to
Yes.
Our predictions. Like I said, this is always our favorite part of the year. Let's go ahead and do the NFC North.
NFC North.
I think this is not going to be a surprise to anybody. And we'll go ahead and handle this. We'll just talk about one team and talk about their record, and then head on to the next. So I got the first one on my list is the Vikings.
Your boys.
Yeah, I'll start with you, Nelson.
All right, so Minnesota Vikings, as you know, they played Green Bay twice. Some of the notable games that's going to come up, which I think is going to be key, see if they can beat the Green Bay Packers, to see if they can beat that Bears defense, and also I want to see if they can have a consistent 2-game winning streak. I think last year they kind of were up and down. I got Minnesota. If Dalvin Cook stays healthy, all right, we need him to be a 1,000 guy, 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000-yard receiving.
Go check out my highlight video on Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
He had an amazing season.
Yeah, it was awesome. And he's the vocal leader too as well. He might be soft-spoken, but he's a vocal leader. So if they can have a consistency on offense, and Kirk Cousins, okay, God bless you, but I need you to just manage the game. How you like that? I understand that's your motto, but just make some completed passes, get some first downs. But I think it all comes to Dalvin Cook. He's going to be key. He's going to be to Minnesota as Christian McCaffrey is to Carolina. And if they make what I think they're going to do, I think they're going to be a good 10-6.
I don't think Dalvin Cook is so much. Christian McCaffrey is just an all-around good talent. And watching him at Stanford, I don't know why people thought that this dude was not going to be good.
He's a monster, man.
You don't put up yards for no reason. You don't get the reps for no reason.
Yeah.
You get thrown to because your quarterback feels comfortable and you're a reliable target. Which kind of should make you feel bad as a wide receiver that you could just check it down and dude can gain 15 yards on you and it's an automatic first down every time. But yeah, Dalvin Cook can catch out of the backfield. He's way more speedy than what guys give him credit for. He's
quick.
Probably, I would put him up against your top 3 running backs, and he would probably beat 2 out of the 3. Yeah. And what he's was known for at Florida State is he's going to block you too.
Yes.
He's going to set up a block on you.
Yes.
So, let's head over to Don and see what his prediction is.
Hey, I liked the team last year. They had a good chemistry. I agree with you on Dalvin Cook. If he has a season like he had last year, if not even better this year, they're a team to watch. If he can
stay healthy, man.
They did add Justin Jefferson in the draft, so they got another wide receiver that's going to be a good wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I got them coming up just a little shy of where they want to be, but I have them at 10-6.
10-6. It's not bad. The Vikings, I really think if everybody stays healthy, Danielle Hunter is a beast, dude, on the defense.
Absolutely.
And you can't overlook Harrison Smith either in the backfield. He's been a top 5 safety for a very long time. And then you head over to that offense. Like I said, if Dalvin can stay healthy, Adam Thielen's a beast. They added Justin Jefferson. And who's their tight end now?
For the Minnesota.
Yeah, it's a white dude. I know.
Okay, and he wears a number. All right.
Yeah, I think he's like
narrows
number.
it down.
I think he's like number 82. He's always been pretty good though. But anyways, once we figure out his name, he's got reliable receivers, so this should be something where Kirk Cousins shouldn't have trouble trying to find somebody that's open because you got a running back that's going to save you. Your offensive line is not that bad. and now you have 3 good, reliable targets. Asterisk on Justin Jefferson, but he's always been a down the field. That's how Joe Burrow was, and Kirk Cousins has got a pretty big arm.
If Kirk Cousins can get over 4,000 passing yards and just put their defense in good field position, you got a great kicker in Minnesota. So just do the bare minimum, and you guys will be over 500.
Yeah. So we're going to lead over to the Bears now that you said that, but I got them at 10-6 as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're second in the division for sure. So we'll head over to the Chicago Bears.
So Chicago Bears is known for their defense, and I think
Kyle Rudolph is his name. I just thought of it.
Yep. Good stuff. Khalil Mack, come on, baby. You're from the best conference, Mid-American Conference. You're from a cold place, all right? You're playing in a cold arena, all right? You're playing in Chicago. I need you to get more than 11 sacks this season, and that's going to build Trubisky's confidence on offense.
But you don't think they're double teaming him though?
Yeah, they are.
Because they let him run wild for 2 years.
Yeah, they're going to double team him. But he's that dog. He has that monster mentality. He's going to either slippery eel through the defenders, or he's going to spin move. He's going to get away to the quarterback. But I think the defense and the cornerbacks are lethal. I can't think of his last name, but it's a Nigerian, Kyle Fuller. But it's a Nigerian last name. He actually got traded from the Giants.
Prince Amukamara.
Yes, from Nebraska. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's going to be a staple there too.
He doesn't even look like a football player. If you ever look at this guy, he looks like the nerd that's in the back of the class. That his parents are like, you have to get it. You have to get a college degree.
Yeah. But the defense is going to win games, and I think they're going to be solid. As far as the record, I got them going 8-8.
8-8.
Yeah, I got them just
so better than the Lions.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna touch that trash can in a minute.
I'm scared.
But yeah, so I got them going 8-8.
So I'll go second here and let Don go last.
Sure.
I got the Bears going 8-8 too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty much the same thing you said. There's a lot of that defense is gonna look pretty good, but I don't think, and this is an unpopular opinion, I don't think Mitchell Trubisky is all that bad. Maybe it's just an unpopular opinion.
We see eye to eye on a lot of things, but not that one, man.
I don't think he's like Jay Cutler bad. But Jay Cutler, I didn't even think he was bad either.
Yeah, Jay Cutler just didn't care. He just, but you can tell he just doesn't have it. I think he's a stiff. Who's the guy? A quarterback came out of Notre Dame. He's a stiff. He was right before
Jimmy Clausen, right?
Jimmy Clausen. He was before Trubisky. He came in and he had a couple games. Okay, he's a glorified Tim Tebow.
Cody Kessler.
Yeah. He's a glorified Tim Tebow to me.
Glorified Tim Tebow, dude. But if you think about Mitchell Trubisky's first year, it was like, whoa, this dude's like scary good. I don't think he mentally can. I think his psyche's all jacked up.
Okay.
I don't think. I think he lets everybody get to his head because he can be talented, but I don't think he's like trash. I don't think he's Jared Goff.
No. Tim Tebow wasn't trash. He got him to the playoffs, the Broncos, but he's just.
But is Trubisky going to have to worry about a backup quarterback being yanked from a game this year?
That's a good point.
Yeah, because Foles is up
Nick
there.
Foles,
yeah, that's a good
Of
point.
course. I mean,
we know Randy's going to miss Nick Foles in Jacksonville.
Yes.
I won't. Sorry, Randy. And I said they should have started. They should have kept with the hot hand. I mean, but you see the Foles effect. What they're going to do if he's doing bad, or even if he's just doing mediocre. Let's say 6 games in, they're 3-3. They're going to pull him and put Foles in.
Yep.
Like, we're 500 right now. Why are you pulling me?
Right.
Same thing's going to happen because it happened to Gardner Minshew in Jacksonville. It's maybe we need, like you said, maybe we need to twist his psyche up a little bit to get him working.
Yeah. But Don, you're right, man. That's gonna put some fire on him because you didn't have a backup pushing him to perform on the field.
Right.
So with Nick Foles, he's MVP Super Bowl champ.
That's right.
But he's going to be a great mentor for him. He might bring out the best in him. Like, hey, man, you can't let all this stuff affect you.
Right.
And then I know for sure, man, and I miss him in Jacksonville. Allen Robinson is like so underrated, man. I don't get why he does. He made the top 100 this year, but that dude is dangerous. Like, he saves the Bears in a lot of different situations. So I think both of them just need to come together as veterans and be like, hey, man, calm down. I got your back. We got your back. This is what you need to do here. But I don't see Matt Nagy and them boys doing anything but 8-8. They'll meet 500, but they ain't squeaking the playoffs. Yeah. And this will be Matt Nagy's last year. That's just my prediction.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too far off from either of you guys. That was kind of my starting point. I had them at 8-8 originally, but I think there's going to be too much back and forth with this quarterback issue, changing quarterbacks 2-3 times a season, and I just don't think it's going to be healthy. So I dropped them down to 7-9.
They're going to have the same issue that they had years ago with Jay Cutler and them. As you're going to start this game, you're going to start that game. Yep. It's going to mess up the psyche of the whole team.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's going to throw them off rhythm. All right, so we'll head over to the Lions, and we'll save the cheeseheads for last. So with the Lions, I got them. And I hate to do this. Because I like Matt Stafford, but we don't know what's going to happen with Matt Stafford.
Right.
Because he was having an MVP caliber season. And me and Don agree.
Yep.
That dude is probably the most underrated quarterback that's going to squeak into the Hall of Fame first ballot. And people are going to be like, what?
Yep. Megatron helped that.
The dude is tough, man. But depending on how that situation goes, so this is an asterisk on mine.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can see them either going like 9-6, or 9-7, I mean, or 4-12. There's nothing else to say about the Lions. They stink. Like, I can't name one person on their defense because they got rid of Darius Slay. Stupid. Right. Matt Patricia's a dummy.
Yep. Got that right.
You know, you got Kerryon Johnson, who's not going to be able to carry that team, on offense. Marvin Jones is a great, probably one of the underrated wide receivers in the NFL. But that's not enough, man. I don't see what you did even in the draft that is going to make this team better. And Jeff Okudah, they got him now, but
listen.
You left him without a veteran that was going to get him good.
Listen, it starts from the top. And shout out to all my Canton, all my Ypsilanti, and all my Detroit fellas in Detroit. And I know y'all not even part of that city like that. Y'all don't even root for the Pontiac Detroit Pistons. But look, your team is trash, all right? I got them going 4-12. And it starts with Matt Patricia. And you got to get out of that jerk mentality that, it's my way or the highway. You got to be here on time. Know your personnel, man. Matt Stafford is, like you said, a future Hall of Famer. He will get in there. He will squeak in. But you got to know how to manage him. You got to know who to put in place. Yes, he's from Georgia, right? Sometimes you got to talk to those boys a little differently. You can't go in there hard-nosed, all right? Realize you got to soften up, all right? Bill Belichick, he's not in the room anymore, big fella.
And you talk about Bill Belichick, if Matt Stafford goes to the Patriots, they're a dynasty again. Yeah. That's just my opinion. Yeah. They're a dynasty again.
Yeah. So I got Detroit coming at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to the NFC North, and you guys are just hey, the Ford Field, I love the field. Trust me, it's awesome. It's heated, it's air conditioned, but you guys not gonna win any games. You're gonna get at least maybe 4.
Right. Well, so 4-12 for you.
4-12.
I think a lot's going to come down, like you said, whether Stafford's playing or not. If he's playing, if he has a good season, if the team performs adequate, they can pull off a 7-9. If he's not in the mix, it's not even close to adequate. And your 4-12 is right on target.
Yeah, 4-12, man. Matt Stafford in, you maybe 500.
Yeah,
but you got to get this dude some help, man. I mean, he is the toughest player on that team for sure. And he shows. He's put his body on the line. He's going to end up like Cam Newton, sitting out a year, then going somewhere like the Patriots, and then going to light the league up because you didn't take care of him. Yeah, or end up retiring earlier and then be Andrew Luck.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I would hate to see that, too.
So what is it, loyalty to a city or loyalty to yourself? Because at this point, Matt Stafford's going to have to make a decision at these next 2 years.
Well, remember, he's got a huge contract with the Lions, too. He's got I think it's like $300 million, and he was at the highest paid for a while there.
Yeah.
I think it's that, not trying to burn any bridges.
Right.
Because he does seem like kind of a loyal dude when it comes to that. But you don't play the game not to win. And then when they're not setting you up for success, and you just let Darius Slay go because y'all couldn't meet eye to eye and you wanted to be the big man, like that is going to ruin him.
Yeah. So I guess you're saying it's got to be the point where they put offers on the table to trade him because he's comfortable and he's loyal to Detroit. But at the end of the day, listen, man, do you want to win or is it about that check?
Yeah. So we'll head over to the Green Bay Packers, the Cheeseheads. Dom, what you got, man?
Oh, man. Packers. What's the first thing you think of when you think of the Packers? Got to be Jordan Love, right?
I like how you did that.
Absolutely not.
Oh, man.
I like that.
I mean, they did pick him up in the draft, quarterback, and they did okay with a running back, A.J. Dillon. That was a nice pickup.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, this is the Pack's year to look good. I think they're really going to look good this year. I'm not going nuts with them. I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a solid year, so I got him at 11-5 and taking the division by a game.
I have them at the same exact record.
Yep.
And the reason why, Jordan Love is there, like you said, and it's going to fire Aaron Rodgers up, and it's going to be crazy how good he's going to be. And then you got Aaron Jones. Nelson, you might like this. Aaron Jones, man, is a top 3 running back. He scored like 20+ touchdowns last year.
Yeah, and his yards per carry was nice. Yeah, so he was a little bit over 6. So I see where you're going.
A.J. Dillon,
Yeah,
gonna fire him up too.
Yep.
A.J. Dillon wasn't bad at Boston College.
Not at all.
Yes.
So now you got 2 good running backs where Aaron Jones doesn't have to carry the load.
Right.
So now you got Aaron Rodgers that's already mad. You got Aaron Jones who's got some help. Now let's head over to that bad man Devontae Adams. That dude is the best route runner in the league by far.
Exactly.
Don't care what anybody says. He's not the most speediest, but
He does run.
his jump off the line is crazy.
Mm-hmm. So
So now you already got a top 5 wide receiver, and then you got Scantling, and then you got Geronimo Allison. Those boys are starting to come together because Aaron Rodgers don't play no games. If you don't catch these passes in practice, I ain't throwing to you.
Exactly.
Now you don't let them sit under the system for a little bit. It's over, man.
Yeah.
And them boys up front are going to block for Aaron Rodgers. And their defense is not bad. You got Zadarius Jones. You got Jair Alexander on the outside.
Yep.
They ain't playing no games, man. They're going to come with it. 11-5 for the Packers, winning the division. And I think we're going to see them in the NFC Championship game against somebody else.
Yeah.
Probably the Seahawks. We're going to see that again.
So I guess we're all going to be wearing Green Bay hats next week because I got Green Bay also going 11-5.
All right.
But you know what, Wisconsin, those fans support and have peace owner of that whole organization. So they're going to, they're going to support virtually regardless. They're going to be there. So Aaron Rodgers, and I'm glad you said Jordan Love because Aaron Rodgers, even though he is a stickler with route running, he has trust issues when it comes to practice, and you're not going to get ball thrown to you in their game. But he's going to rally these troops. He's going to say in the press, relax. Yeah, we started off 2-3 or 4-7, but relax. So, but I got them going 11-5. Excuse me. I got them going 11-5. But the only thing I think that nobody knows about this, and I've been reading up on this, let me bring out the top secret briefcase. 8-game suspension, Antonio Brown. The Packers might sign him.
And why is that?
Why? Because they're going to take a chance on him. Just like every other NFL team, Antonio Brown, he's starting to make demands.
So this might be like a Cam Newton to Pittsburgh prediction.
Exactly. I think that in the middle of the season, when that 8-game suspension's up for Antonio Brown, you're going to see him in that green and yellow.
If Geronimo Allison and Scantling don't get it, I can almost see that happening. But does Aaron Rodgers want him to be a distraction coming in there to Green Bay? Because I don't know him and Devontae Adams are going to mesh well together. Because I don't think Devontae Adams is not really a hoorah guy. Like he's very smart. Like if there was a video that came out on NFL Network like couple weeks ago on like how he does route running, how he says he's the best off the line, how he studies defenses, and like there was one play he had made that he knew that the nickelback and the free safety always collapse up on the front seven, and he was able to squeak by him. And it was a custom route that he said, this was a custom route. I could have ran it however I wanted to. I just told Aaron to get me the ball. And he was like, I knew they were going to split off, and I just ran a post route, and bam, I was wide open.
Right.
So he's smart. I'm not saying Antonio Brown is not smart.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown is a beast. I mean, but I don't know if they would mesh well together, but if they got the understanding, like, Aaron's not going to throw to you if you acting crazy. And they realize that Devontae is number one.
Yeah.
But we need you, my man.
Look, Antonio Brown went to Central Michigan, okay? He's used to playing in cold weather, right? He's in the middle of Wisconsin. There's not a lot to do in Wisconsin. The man can't get in so much trouble unless he just, opens his mouth. So if he humbles himself, he gets there, he has to trust the future Hall of Famer, the legend Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And Aaron Rodgers, he's going to have the respect for Aaron Rodgers. And he's going to, 8 games left in the season, he's going to make an impact. So I read up on that. I'm just going to let you guys know. I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to get some Green Bay hats next week, but he's going to be a Packers.
Packers?
Yeah.
All right. We got the Cheeseheads winning. I kind of already predicted that without even knowing you guys. They just made too many good moves. I mean, they lost Blake Martinez, but, Green Bay always seems to travel together in the right ways. And Zadarius Jones has just come into his own. He's a top 5 linebacker too. Now NFC South, I'll save the worst one for last.
No, this is.
Let's just go ahead and get the Buccaneers out the way.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
and then we'll save the Falcons for last.
Okay.
So the Buccaneers. I know people might be excited about this prediction, and I got the Buccaneers.
Here we go.
Drum roll.
I might be part of the majority on this one, but I got them going 13-3.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me!
It's just I see way too much good happening, man. I don't see this being a bad venture at all. And I'm not really drinking the Kool-Aid though. I mean, if you really look at it on paper, they signed LaShawn McCoy.
Yes,
LaShawn McCoy's been wanting to win a ring for a while.
He won one.
And nobody wants to sign
with
him.
who?
LaShawn McCoy.
Oh, he just won it with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I forgot he was on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But he wants to win another.
We'll take it.
But I mean, think about how fun Bruce Arians' offense is going to be to play in. There's going to be a lot of throwing and throwing on the flats to your boy. But God, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski,
Cameron
Brate.
Yep.
Jeez, man, it's going to be amazing to watch. And their defense, not bad. I mean, Levante David, this is going to spark life under him. I think when they're winning, it's going to be like crazy. And then Bruce Arians, man.
Yeah, he's.
Come on, let's see what he did. Like, the formula's there, guys. He brought Carson Palmer back to the old Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer, Hall of Famer, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't care what anybody says. This is a Hall of Famer.
USC.
But he resurged his career when he came to the Cardinals. And Carson Palmer was looking like a world beater at like 36.
Yeah. He was that grown man that was like the 8th season.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't here to play any games, guys. Let's just win.
Yeah. So I like what you're saying, but I disagree with it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I am not going to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm going to pass and get that water. And I got them going 8-8. Now, I tell you why.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's going to be you're right.
You think Bruce Arians is going to allow that to happen?
No. But Bruce Arians is going to put him in a position to be great. He can see the defense. He can read the defense. He can find holes. He's a great coach. He's going to have his strategy. His game plan is there. But you got to know that coaches don't play. They just put you in position. They just coach. Now, you got an old team, man. All right. We're talking about football years. All right.
Shout out to your boy, John Crichton.
Okay.
He said, "What's up, Nelson?"
Hey, what's going on?
My dad's in here. What's up, Dad?
So you got Mike Evans. Now, last year, I'm going to throw some stats in there,
Okay.
Don. All right, 67 receptions, right? Oh, he had 1,157 yards. He averaged 17.3, and he had 8 touchdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Gronkowski. Numbers speak for themselves, right? Future Hall of Famer. You got Tom Brady. Now, the key stat I'm going to bring up because everybody think he's on the down climb. And remember last year when everything was normal, he threw that interception, and pretty much Tennessee Titans sealed the game. He had 8 interceptions, okay? Now, he had just shade over 4,000 yards, Tom Brady, right? So, 24 touchdowns. He's in a new climate, right? The weather is nice, all right? He sleeps
That's
well.
not even a decline, though. I don't know why people were saying that.
But it's not. But it's a bad for him, right? That's a decline for him. So my thing is, and yes, you got Levante David. He had 82 tackles.
That dude's all over the
right.
field.
He's going to be okay.
Then I forgot about his name. Shaq. What's his name? He had like 13 sacks in like 7 games. It was something ridiculous. But yeah, I forgot about him too.
But the total passing offers last year for the Buccaneers was 4,845. All right, terrible, right? Guess how many? They averaged 22 first downs a game. Terrible, right?
Mm.
Of course, you got Brady's going to change that, but it's just not going to be enough in the first year. It's just not enough in the first year. So I got them going 8-8. They're going to start off the season seesawing, right? I got them losing to New Orleans and losing to Denver. Denver's going to pop up and surprise them. But then at
Drew Lock.
yeah. Right? But then at the end of the season, midway through, I got them beating the Las Vegas Raiders. That sounds so weird. I got them beating the Giants. But the schedule gets tough at the end. I got them losing to New Orleans, Carolina, and I got them losing to Kansas City. And then you got the Minnesota Vikings. All right? And then you got Atlanta. I got Atlanta beating them on December 20th. But then I got the I'm telling you. But then I got Atlanta, they losing to Atlanta at the end. But look, it's gonna be a decent season. But I'm telling you, the chemistry is not gonna be meshed as well. They're not gonna be on the same page. Mike Evans is gonna be a beast. He thinks he's gonna get it some deep balls, but they're gonna be easy to figure out. And I got them going 8-8. Tom is not gonna get settled, and he's on the decline. Hey, you're a Hall of Famer, but you're at your wits' end. All right, you know that.
How can you do? Okay.
No. He's the GOAT. Trust me, he's the GOAT. But he, that at the candle in the wick, and it's like almost burning down to the back of the stem, and you get that little bit of light of burning fire. He's like right there. He's right there.
I believe he's at the end, but
Yeah.
what's we've never seen this much talented receivers on one offense that are proven.
Paper. It looks good on paper, but on the field, it's gonna be totally different.
But let's think about it, Nelson. Where's Chris Hogan right now? I'm just gonna say one receiver that we thought was a beast that year.
Okay.
Was in the Super Bowl. He's with the Panthers. DJ Moore is better than him.
Yeah. Okay.
But we've never think about what Randy Moss did with Tom Brady, and I understand he was in his prime during that time, and they were just two different breeds. But you got Chris Godwin, who can burn anybody. You got Mike Evans, who can catch on anybody.
Mm-mm.
Bro, he's never gone to a system where it was like, these are proven receivers that any quarterback. Jameis Winston played when he was still through 30 interceptions.
There's going to be some close games. It's going to be exciting times. There's going to be a lot of media and publicity, but they're not there. They're going to be a solid 8-8.
I feel you. I could totally see them being trash too, but I don't see it happening. All right, Don.
Okay.
What you got?
All right. Well, first I tasted a little bit of Dante's Kool-Aid, and then I had a little bit of Nelson's water. And both guys are making good points here, folks. So I'm in the middle. I got them going 10-6.
Okay.
I think there's going to be some highlights, but I don't think it's going to be so cohesive like you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be perfect all season.
So, what are they, number 2 in your division?
Number 2.
Okay. I think I know who your number 1 is.
Yes.
Next one we want to do is the Carolina Panthers. Now, this is interesting.
This is very interesting.
One of the most interesting drafts
All defensive players.
All defensive players.
Never happened before. But why did they not draft Isaiah Simmons?
I don't know. Golly.
I was like,
I'm like, no way.
One of the best Clemson linebackers you'll ever see.
the Swiss Army knife. Like, you could have plugged him, and he's so good.
Yep.
He's so good. And
his numbers were ridiculous.
I don't say that about a lot of players, but that dude was good, man. I mean, did y'all watch?
Yeah.
Did y'all watch the game?
Yeah, he can cover the back out of the backfield and possibly a slot receiver.
It was like this dude was playing D tackle, then went to safety. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, and they also they did draft a Penn Stater, which he's going to create havoc, and I've been talking about him since the last episodes. I'm gonna get your name right, brother. You're Gross Matos.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's going to make a difference.
Be a player.
Yeah, he's going to make a difference, and I think he's going to, have more than 5 sacks in his first year. He's a monster, man. His hand placement, he's just going to be a difference maker when it comes to moving the chains. Now, you want to go with your prediction or?
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to say about Carolina. I don't know about their quarterback situation at this point in time. But DJ Moore is good. I can honestly say that. Came out of Maryland. Didn't think he was going to be great. He seems like a good pickup for them. I really think they need somebody like Luke Kuechly back there on that defense. And the person that they should have drafted, I'm going to keep saying it, is Isaiah Simmons. That could have been somewhere like him. And I know Luke Kuechly's going to be involved with the team. But imagine that. If he was able to coach up Isaiah Simmons, be like, man, this is what you look for. Right. I mean, let me coach you up how this defense is supposed to be.
Well, don't sleep on Bridgewater. I know he just signed with them.
I know, but it's hard for me to root for Bridgewater because I don't know. He just doesn't seem. I don't know.
I mean, he held down New Orleans Saints in that 4-game skill. But
Sean Payton is very comparable to Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
too.
He know how to put you in the right position to make the right.
I don't know how this new coach is going to Matt Rule. I don't know how he's going to be coming from Temple.
I'll give you that.
But he was a proven winner.
Yep.
Bring him into another offense. He drafted all defensive players. He's going against the grain. But I got them going 8-8. I see them going 500 and Matt Rule sticking around. And we're going to see some interesting things come out of Carolina. But I think at the end of the day, we're going to figure out that Teddy Bridgewater is really not fit for his offense. Because of what's his name. Didn't what's his name play at Temple that came from the XFL?
Oh, he just got drafted, right?
Yeah.
I mean, got signed.
From the Roughnecks?
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Athletic quarterback, right?
Yeah, he came from Temple, right? I think Matt Rule was his coach. I just put the pieces together. Hold on a second.
All right, puzzle pieces fit.
We'll come back to that, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got them going 8-8.
Okay.
What you got, Nelson?
Yeah, I got them going 8-8 too. So we both agree on that. And it's just, they got a tough schedule, man. I mean, you got the Buccaneers, you got the Chargers, you got the Falcons, you got the Bears, you got the Saints. Then you got the Chiefs, where you're going to take a L. I'm sorry. Then at the latter part of the schedule, you got, Green Bay, and then you got New Orleans. The Washington team, you're going to get a win there. But it's just hard to put them in a winning category just dead even. Now, I got to give a shout-out to Christian McCaffrey. I know the man deserves it, but I'm going to shine some light on him. Let me just go down this list here. He's part of the 50-50 club, all right?
And the reason why I didn't mention him is because we already know Christian McCaffrey's going to be a beast.
Yeah.
I
just as an RB to another RB, I got to give you some shout-outs, man. 50-50 club, rushing and receiving, all right? And then he had 116 receptions. That's the most in 2019 for a running back, all right? 99 Madden rating. Don't take that lightly, okay? He's part of the 1K club, meaning that 1,000-yard receiving and 1,000-yard rushing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Man last year had 287 carries. Now, let me show you how tough that is, okay? 287 carries. That means you're carrying the load more than 50% of the time, all right? You got over 1,387 yards. He averaged 4.8. And you say, okay, the average is, a little bit more than 6. But the reason why it's 4.8 because he was catching the ball at the backfield, all right? 15 touchdowns. The man, it was like you had to go through him to get to Carolina. I seen him live. It's deceptively fast. He gets to the lane and he's gone. He had over 20 times he took it to the house over 50 yards
mm-hmm.
off of a handoff.
Yep.
I mean, the man is a monster. Now, granted, if say for example, if they had a receiver on the outside, maybe at the Y or Z, that take the load for him, his stats might look a little different. He might not get that 99 rating, but he is the truth. He's the real deal. So, shout out to Christian McCaffrey, running back to running back. I salute you, man.
I think the one thing that Teddy Bridgewater has been molded to do was throw it to Alvin Kamara. And
Yes.
Alvin Kamara is like a version of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
So he's already used to that. Like, man, I did this at New Orleans throwing in the Alvin. It's going to be the same thing here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, same thing. Same thing, and then he's going to get comfortable. But I don't want Christian McCaffrey to get burnt out because last year was tough. Like, he had to put a lot on his back. But now it's a new season, right? They're going to plan for you. They're going to strategize for you. How are you going to counter that? You know, we'll see.
I hope he has a long career, but if they keep using him the way he's going to have a 7 or 8 year career. And that's going to be sad. Yeah. But he'll make the Hall of Fame.
Right. Oh, yeah. But the average – and his dad was a beast.
Yeah, Ed McCaffrey was a beast, man.
But a running back, just to give you just a little perspective on this, a running back in the NFL average years is 3. All right?
Yeah.
And it's because there's a lot of wear and tear. You get hit.
Okay, guys.
What you got?
Here we go. It's going to be a struggle. It is going to be a struggle for these guys. It's not going to be a cohesive unit on offense. Defense is improving, but they just don't have a favorable schedule. It's just the way it looks. They got a lot of hard teams to play this year, and when you're not cohesive and when you're still trying to learn and you got a new coach, they're struggling this year. I got them 5-11.
Oh,
wow!
I can see that.
What's the factor of that? Just a new coach?
Is
it Teddy?
It's a combination of both. I mean, you got a new quarterback. Things are going to run different. You got a new coach who maybe wants to run things different. They're just not going to gel this year, man.
Different terminology.
It's a learning process.
Yep.
It's just not going to gel well at all this year.
And
they're going to look lost.
And to Don's point, you know, when you switch coach, you switch terminology on the playbook. You switch, you know, the way the meetings are run. You switch, you know, even position coach. Your position coach might not be the same position coach, and it's just a different feel. And you're kind of trying to figure out, okay, what does he want? You know, what does my position coach need? You know, what do I have to do? And trust me, if you tell me that I'm running an arrow route and then you come in saying, well, we're running a boomerang route, it's like, okay, I got to remember when the play is called 22-56 boomerang right. Like, I'm still thinking about the arrow route. So it's just tough, you know, when you get in those situations, like you said, for your psyche, you know, on the field, looking for expectations, and then let alone you got incentives coming with your contract that you got to meet. But just the feel is totally different. So I can see how Don can come up with that.
Yeah. The next team that we want to head over to is the New Orleans Saints.
Ooh, them boys.
Now, New Orleans is going to be interesting, too. I think it's really going to be dependent on Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And I think they need to get Alvin Kamara even more involved this year, and not depend on Michael Thomas so much, because he's going to get doubled like crazy this year.
He got a 99-man rating too, so Michael Thomas. Sorry.
I get it, but I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Julio Jones should have a 99.
Oh yes.
Julio Jones is the best receiver in the league, hands down. I don't care what anybody says. You're telling me right now.
Talk to him.
That you could put Michael Thomas and Julio Jones on the same team. How many cornerbacks are going to be like, nah, I'd rather guard Mike? Like, are you being serious right now? And this man is a quiet assassin. I mean, Michael Thomas is kind of the same way, but he talks. But who does Julio Jones say? Oh, I'm better than this guy. I'm better than that guy. He's just like, Matt, just throw me the ball, bro, because I know you suck, so I'm going to catch you anyways. I'll make you look good for a couple more years. New Orleans Saints, though, I also have them tied at 8-8 with the Panthers. Very interesting, because my prediction about the Falcons is going to surprise you.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be one of the toughest divisions to play in this year.
Yeah.
Just because everybody's going to be chasing the Buccaneers. I think that's what all three teams' focus is going to be. We need to beat them.
Did he say straight?
That's what he said.
Yeah, I think they're going to make it a mission to try to just smash them up. But, but what I said about the Buccaneers, I think there's going to be a lot of close finishes. I don't think there's going to be like, oh, the Buccaneers blowed the Saints out. It's going to be like 23-24.
Okay.
The Saints, I got them going 8-8. Drew Brees, this will be a nice send-off to his career.
Oh, you think he's going to retire after this?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I think this is the last year. With all the stress he had to deal with this year, too.
Oh, I'm going to touch on that.
But Michael Thomas, he'll have a good year again as long as Drew's throwing to him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I know you got Teddy Bridgewater, but what I think we're going to see, I don't think we're going to see that 4,500 to 5,000 yard season from Drew Brees like we did before. I think what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing Taysom Hill get a lot more reps in his offense.
Yes.
And I think they're going to start passing it off to him. And while that learning and growing is going to be going on, that's where that record's going to slip off.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, and don't quote me on this, I think Alvin Kamara is going to have a better season than Christian McCaffrey.
He's due.
For some reason, I had this feeling that it's like, yo, Drew, get me the ball. And when Taysom's in there, that's going to be one of the dynamic duels we're going to watch. Mark my words on that. But I got them going 8-8.
Cool. Yeah. I see how you come up with that, Dante, and I'm with you. As far as the winning aspect of it, but I got them going 11-5. It's just something about Drew Brees that is concerned.
The best team in the division for you?
Yeah. Yeah. And the only thing there's the hiccup when it comes, because he's a future Hall of Famer. He's Super Bowl champ. I hope he gets another one. He deserves it because he's been putting in that work. But the only thing I'm worrying about is his players going to corral around him because of the comments he made 2 or 3 months ago. Now, they may be forgotten, and they may be, put to bed internally when it comes to that organization. Mm-hmm. But I just think it's going to be some ill will somewhere in there. But with that being said, he got his buddy back, Michael Jenkins. Now, I realize Michael Jenkins won a Super Bowl with them back in 2011. And he was there for a good 4 or 5 years before he went to the Eagles. So he's back in town. So he's going to be the veteran leader there on that defense, and he's going to get those boys right. So I'm not worried about the defense at all. Plus, they were already monsters.
Cameron Jordan is one of the most underrated defensive
linemen. Absolutely.
And that's Don's boy.
Yeah.
Right. And as far as the yardage Drew Brees had last year, it was only 2,979, but he missed a couple games. So, you got to calculate that in with how many games he missed and the yards he would have had. Now, the dual threat, I'm glad you brought him up, Taysom Hill. He's the Swiss Army knife on offense when it comes to them. And he plays special teams. What?
Mm-hmm. They're not going to pay him all that money just to sit and be a backup like he was the last couple of years. Yeah. And I think Drew knows that too. It's like, all right, and I got to start adding him in, sprinkle him in there.
But quiet as kept, your boy, Jameis Winston, is there. When it comes down to, say, if someone gets hurt or somebody, say like Drew Brees goes down and then say Taysom Hill comes up a little short, you still got your man James Winston. They're going to come through and maybe throw more than less than 50 interceptions. So
I think with Jameis is if they get to a game where they're smashing somebody, they're going to put him in.
Yep.
And it's going to be like week 5 or week 6 where he's been marinating behind Drew Brees.
Yep.
And people are going to be like, yo, Jameis Winston, he done got his eyes fixed.
Right.
We ain't going to see any more squinting anymore.
Right.
But to be honest, a lot of people give Jameis Winston a lot of crap, but it's a lot to swallow your pride and go somewhere and be a third stringer.
He's going to be a reformed Terry Bridgewater, James Winston. So he's going to come in there.
I think he's going to be better.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that.
I think whatever team he goes to after this is going to be a resurgence. It's going to be like, dang, Jameis.
Right.
Because he's coachable, man.
Yeah, but before we go to Don, let me give you a couple stats about Michael Thomas. And this is the reason why he got the 99 rating.
I already know.
He in a Pro Bowl on the first all team. So, of course, he got thrown to 885 times.
Chris Carter's nephew.
Yeah. But he caught the ball 149 times out of the 185. So that's well over 60%. As far as receiving, he had 1,725, and he had 9 touchdowns. But he averaged over 107 yards a game. So that means you're getting first downs, you're getting key third downs, first downs, and then you also.
But Nelson, name another receiver on that team.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's the thing. but besides Kamara, but he coming out of the backfield.
That's what I'm saying.
But yeah, he was that strong, dependable receiver that you got the ball thrown to, and you could depend on him getting the key first downs and getting the important at the key moment touchdowns, in red zone execution. So I give it to him, and he only played 15 games. So and those were crucial at the end of the season. So I got them going 11-5, but I'm really interested how they're going to use the three: Drew Brees, Taysom Hill, and Jameis Winston. I'm really curious about that.
Yeah, I didn't forget, but I didn't mention that about Jameis Winston having what impact he's going to have. Yeah. This is more going to be a learning season for him.
And salute to Michael Jenkins, future Hall of Famer. I think he's going to just feel at home. I mean, he's just coming back. You think
he's going to be a Hall of Famer?
I think so. With 2 Super Bowl rings and a winning record.
We should get into that a little later because I don't consider having a Super Bowl as a accolade for you to get into the Hall of Fame.
His influence on defense is massive. All right, and he's a Q dog. I'm not a Q dog, but they know how to unite.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
Okay, guys. Saints are going to finish first. Start off with that. They're going to be 11-5.
Okay.
And here's why. 2 names, Drew Brees, Sean Payton, and why are they going to be different this year? What's going to motivate them? What's going to move them to succeed this year? Tom Brady.
Ooh.
So,
I like that, Don.
Oh, my goodness.
Don.
Those 2 guys are not going to let Tom Brady take over the division.
That's very interesting that you say that. And this is the first time that we're going to see 2. I think this is the first time in history that we've seen 2 first ballot Hall of Famers that are playing right now. Going against each other.
In the same division.
Dude, that's going to be a microscope over that game. I didn't even think about the impact of that.
Yep.
First of all, you're going to have Mike Evans versus Michael Thomas. Michael and Mike.
Right.
I want to be like Mike. And then you got Tom Brady and Drew Brees, who got the ultimate respect for each other.
Head to head.
Dude, that's going to be massive.
It is going to be big.
And then Sean Payton and Bruce Arians. I mean, 2 big offensive minds right there.
Yeah, because even Peyton Manning in his heyday and Tom Brady, they wasn't in the same division.
Right.
Wow.
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are never in the same division. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's never been a hit. Like, you literally just sit back, get your popcorn, and be like, anybody could win this game. Right. Do you remember the game? It was like 2009, 2010, where Peyton Manning and Tom Brady were playing, and it was like a week 6 or 7 game. And like the first quarter of that game, both of them threw 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It was like Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, and then it was like Randy Moss and whoever else, Devin Branch or somebody.
Right.
And it was like, they're just slinging it right now. Right. It's gonna be like that.
Ooh, yeah, I can't wait.
It's gonna be crazy. Like there ain't gonna be no offense or defense that gets played that game.
It's gonna be like the hockey All-Star game, man. All offense.
Yeah. So I get to, of course, my opinion about this last because I know Don always likes when I talk about Matt Ryan, but
Matty Ice.
I don't care who goes on this one. Might as well just get the Falcons out the way.
I'll go. So this, you guys remember the Washington back then team? I'm not even going to say the name because we're going to dismiss that racial slur name. But they were good on paper back in 2000. They had Bruce Willis. They had Deion Sanders. They had
Bruce Willis Die Hard.
I'm sorry. I said that last time. I'm sorry. Bruce. Man, I always Bruce. You know what I'm talking about. Sorry. But they oh man, but they had everybody on paper. They had who else they had on the roster? But anyway, the team had a legit 6 or 7 Hall of Famers, right? Back in 2000, right? But they didn't do nothing. That's how I feel about this team. They have a bunch of talent on paper, and
you know who they are comparable to? The early 2000 Chargers. Remember how many times everybody's like, the Chargers are going to go to the AFC Championship game this year and go to the Super Bowl, and they never could just pull the trigger.
Yeah. So I got the Atlanta Falcons with all like that juggernaut worth of talent. I got them going 7-9, and the reason being is because their schedule is tough, man. Mm-hmm. So they got Seattle, they got Dallas, Chicago, and Green Bay just in their first 4 games. And then they got Minnesota.
Death Valley.
Yeah, right. And then, then it gets a little, in the mid-season, it gets a little weak. They got Minnesota, Detroit, Carolina, and Denver. But then, at that latter half, they got New Orleans. They got Tampa Bay Bucks. They got Kansas City. It's like, man, how you going to grind out those
I can't
games?
Wait to get to my prediction.
But the key attributes, the key additions, they got Todd Gurley now. He's going to be right at home. Mm-hmm. If you look at the 18.
He went to Georgia.
Yeah, he went to Georgia. He went to the 18.
From North Carolina.
Look at the 18 and 17 stats. He had over 1,000 yards, close to 1,300. Mm-hmm. And each time he had over 10 touchdowns, okay? Now, lately, last year he had an off year, 857 yards. But you know why? Because of, certain situations, politics and at the Rams. But it's just the consistency that can concern me with all his talent. Julio Jones, hands down, best receiver in the league right now. Top tier. He made, actually, on the top 100, he was top 15.
Who's your top 3?
Top 3 right now? Julio Jones is is 1. Beckham is 2. And that third guy, I got to go because I know I played and I see him live, Larry Fitzgerald.
So you ain't got D-Hop in there. You ain't got Devontae Adams in there.
Before
you get to your prediction, I'm kind of curious on yours too.
The only reason why I don't have D-Hop in there is because I need to see two more years of him in a different system. Okay, he was the man in Texas. Mm-hmm. He was the man, right? He got strong arms, right? He can catch anything, but I need him to be consistently not that man and see if he's still can shine.
I totally get that too. Because my top 3, Julio's number 1. Yeah. Devontae Adams is deserving of number 2 just because of his skill set and because of the quarterback he's got. Number 3, surprising everybody right now, I don't care what you say, I don't care what nobody says, Adam Thielen is number 3.
Oh, out of Minnesota?
Yes.
Okay.
That dude is amazing.
Yeah, he's decent.
And the only reason he was overshadowed is because he had Stephon Diggs there.
Yeah.
But now y'all really going to see what this man is about.
Yeah.
This year he's coming out.
Yeah, he's slick.
He going to lead the league in reception.
Yeah. So, Atlanta, this is mind-boggling how you can be this good but not win. So, Matt Ryan, in the last 4 years, had over 4,000 yards each time. 4,944, 4,095, 4,924, and 4,446. Julio Jones, you talking about consistency? Let the numbers do the talking. He don't say much. My man had, this is just in yards, receiving, 1,444. 1,444. He did it twice. 1,677, 1,994.
Dang.
Listen, the man knows how to catch the ball and get yards. Now, granted,
in his career, he's only dropped 6 passes.
Mike Thomas had last year 9 touchdowns, right? Consistently. This is year after year. Julio Jones, 6, 3, 8, and 6. All right, 3 because he got hurt. All right, remember that year back in 2017 got hurt. Trust me, he would have been in the 8, 9 category. Michael Thompson did it once. Julio's been doing it for years.
That's what I'm saying. This dude's a freak.
But this is why this is a team sport. Mm-hmm. You can be the best. You can have the stats. You can do the best route running. You can have a great arm. You can be an all-star, but it's a team sport. Together, everybody accomplishes more. This team, Atlanta Falcons, hasn't accomplished anything but lose a 28-3 lead. You got to put all the pieces together. Special teams, offense, defense, red zone. It all has to come together. So with that being said,
7-9.
7-9.
So who's your top 3 receivers, Don, before we get to your pick?
Ah, man. Put me on the spot here.
Don't have to be in any type of order. Just the three that you think are the top.
Can I name 3 Philadelphia Eagles?
Oh man, please don't. That's a whole video dedicated
Deshaun
to
Jackson.
You're gonna put Nelson Aguilar in there.
No, I just have all fantasy numbers up in my head right now. So,
numbers don't lie.
Let me help you out because I had.
No, because I would take, and I realize his numbers aren't comparable to Julio, but I would take Michael Thomas. He put up numbers for me for catches and for yards and things.
Oh, there's no denying that he's a top.
Yeah,
stat stuffer.
But I'm just saying. But see, I wouldn't put Julio as one of my top 3, even though he's awesome.
Oh, really?
He's an awesome
Julio
player. He's like a 4, like a 5. But see, I'm going fantasy numbers, and he gets shut out a lot. He does.
Yeah.
He has great games, great points, and then he has nothing. So
that's true.
It's
very true.
But are you saying top 3 now or top 3 all time?
No, top 3 right now.
Right now,
like if you had to start a team,
yeah.
who's your Y and your X, and who's your slot?
Oh
receiver?
yeah, shoot, slot receiver.
and
Odell Beckham, and then you got D Hop on the outside, and then you got Julio Jones going deep.
And I would agree with Hopkins. He's another one that would get you points and get you touchdowns and a little bit of everything. And then I know he's small, and I know he was hurt a little bit last year, but I like Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. And I'll put Larry at tight end. I'll sneak him at tight end.
So interesting.
That's interesting, but it's
Yeah.
not bad because
Yeah.
he blocks.
Yeah.
He'll put you on your butt. All right. So what's your prediction on the Saints?
All right. Falcons, right?
Or Falcons? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. They lost Devonta Freeman. They lost Desmond Trufant. They lost Vic Beasley. They lost Austin Hooper.
Yep.
Now, they did pick up Hayden Hurst from the
Mhm.
Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Gurley.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm drinking too much of the Matt Ryan Kool-Aid, and the Falcons will finish 8-8.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I got the Falcons second in the division. I know. Very surprising. But it's because of all the talent that they got on that team and what nobody's talking about. So if I got the Buccaneers going 13-3, I got the Falcons going 11-5.
Ooh.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna tell you why.
Chris Bridges is gonna love you. Gonna write a song about you.
No. And I'm not a Falcons fan. Like I think they're trash because they're one person. But if I'm comparing what happened with Jared Goff to a comparable person in Matt Ryan. Literally, they're like mirrors.
Right.
They're like a mirror match of each other.
Okay.
Like if you want to pick 2 teams on Madden, but you don't want to pick the 2 same teams, what you could do is you could pick the Rams and the Falcons because they'd be very similar.
Yeah, pretty much.
As far as quarterbacks.
Right.
And the stats don't lie, people. Go look up the stats. There's an episode where I talked about how similar they are and how scary it was. Now, if I'm going with the same logic on Jared Goff's good years, they got the same running back, Todd Gurley, who made the difference in Jared Goff's career.
He did.
Now, that is the biggest reason why I got the Falcons going 11-5. Because now you don't have to worry about Julio. You're not going to be covering Julio because you got to worry about the flats with Todd Gurley now. Calvin Ridley is coming in his own. It's kind of like when the torch was passed when what's his name was the wide receiver that Richard Sherman hated for years and years and years. Roddy White. When Roddy White was there and he was a beast.
Yes.
And he still got a lot of the Falcons records. You guys need to go look at that.
Word.
But when Roddy White passed the torch off to Julio Jones and Julio Jones became the man that he is today, it wasn't just because he was a physical freak. Roddy White is known as a respectful guy, in the NFL. If you're not Richard Sherman, I know that they lost Austin Hooper. It won't matter. To be honest, it's not really going to matter because how many times did Matt Ryan throw to Austin Hooper? Few and far between. Yeah. Austin Hooper is just a good tight end. Right. Now Baker Mayfield is going to use him a lot. That's why Njoku wanted out of Cleveland. You know what I mean? Let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm out. Defense, it's questionable, but for some reason in that Dan Quinn off defense, they always seem to come together. I'm just put that out there. He did it with the Seahawks. He's gonna do it again with the Falcons. Their defense is gonna be fine. that offense is the one that's going to win them a lot of games. And it's going to come down to between the shootout between them and the Buccaneers. And they're going to give Buccaneers one of their losses early.
Okay.
And that's what's going to fire up Bruce Arians. And they're like, man, we lost to Matt Ryan. Come on now. We lost to Matt Ryan. How are we losing Matty Ice? But I got them going 11-5. I know that's surprising, but I see them this year is the year that Todd Gurley effect is going to happen with Matt Ryan. It's going to be like he's going to go, he's going to get the extra superpower. You're going to see Matt Ryan.
Dante, Chris Bridges and T.I. are going to write a song about your prediction.
It's crazy. All right, so we're going to get down to, this should be a shorter segment. The Big 12. Now, we know that they don't have any divisions, so there's no need to discuss any division winners.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we can discuss a runner-up for the Big 12. But I'll just put this out there. Like before the show, we were talking about teams that left conference, the Big 12. I think Texas A&M left a little bit early. They would have won the last 2 or 3 years for sure. But right now, who I got winning the Big 12? You ready for this?
Okay. Been waiting for this one.
All right, guys. Well, I got Baylor coming out and winning the Big 12 this year. I got the Baylor Bears coming out and winning the Big 12. And then as my runner-up, I got what me and Don was discussing. This is going to look really weird on paper. People are going to be like, what? Iowa State.
Really?
I really do like them as the runner-up this year.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not too much to say. Baylor had a really good year last year. I think that's going to carry over into this year. They didn't lose a lot of people in the draft, which is good. I know they got a new coach because Matt Rule was their coach, I believe, before he came. I think he went from Temple to Baylor. And I think that juice is going to stay there with Baylor, and they're really going to give some people a lot of looks.
Yeah.
Now, Oklahoma, they're interesting because I want to see what they're going to do because there's not a notable person on that team anymore that you can really think of. CeeDee Lamb is left. You got Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts and all those. Who's their quarterback right now?
Yeah.
Texas. I'm done saying that Texas.
well, and I'm glad you said that because, the runner-up I have is Texas. I got them coming in second, and it's just like you can see each year they're getting better and better and getting back to their heyday when it comes to like being in the rankings, and I can see them just kind of itching in.
I don't think they know what to do with Sam Ehlinger because that dude's going to be a top 5 quarterback next year. Now, if not top 3, we were talking about that, and I think he was kind of on the downslope because they don't know what the hell they want to do.
Yeah, and I think they're going to just fall short. They're not going to. They're going to be
I
up
can
there,
see that.
but they're going to fall short. But I got Oklahoma winning the whole thing. It's just the system, man. And of course they got Heisman Trophy winners back to back. Lincoln Riley is just, he seemed like he has his confidence.
Lincoln Riley's a quarterback whisperer.
Yeah, so he just knows how to make a product out of a guy. End up being on Saturday talking about how he grew up as a child in New York. So it's just something about Oklahoma, man. It's like when you see that wagon come out with the horses, and it's just something about that swag and that confidence that they have, and they've been running the Big 12 for years. So I think they're gonna be number one. They're gonna come out of it. But I got Texas coming in. It's just West Virginia. Shout out to them. They just don't know. As
they
far
don't
as
belong in the Big 12.
They just they seem out of place. And then TCU used to be good. Back in the early 2000s. Oklahoma State, they had a nice little running back, but Oklahoma is going to be king when it comes.
I almost put as my runner-up Kansas State. I almost did.
Who they have though? I don't.
Their offense has always been pretty good.
Yeah.
And they can come in and upset you in a second.
Yeah,
too.
they've been sophisticated.
But I think what me and Don were talking about before was Iowa State just looks very promising.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to surprise a lot of people because they're going to play them hard.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I think Texas is just a mess. I don't know too much about what Oklahoma's going to do, but I could see them winning if Lincoln Riley puts all the pieces together because that dude's a great coach.
Yeah.
And I think this year is the time to prove if he wants to go to the NFL and be an NFL coach. Because if you can bring a team together where you lost all kinds of seniors, all kinds of juniors to the draft, if you can come in and at least win the Big 12 again and be like, I wonder what people that y'all didn't even know I had.
But they say you're the best coach when you don't have talent. So we're going to see if you can truly coach Well,
I know, because he's been getting lucky, man,
Murray
by Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield and Jalen
we'll
Hurts and CeeDee Lamb being there.
You're true coaching right here. So.
Yep. What you got, Don?
All right. Well, as you mentioned, we talked about Iowa State. I see them having a better season than some people. I see them third in the division. I like Oklahoma State's running back.
Mm-hmm.
And
Chuba Hubbard.
Hubbard,
he's good.
I think he's going to be your offensive player of the conference.
I do too.
Like that.
I agree. Yeah. I agree with that.
So,
I agree with that.
I have them coming in second, and I have Oklahoma winning it. It's going to be interesting, though. I want to see which quarterback is Lincoln Riley going to pick. He's got a sophomore, Tanner Mordecai, and he's got a red-shirted freshman, Spencer Rattler.
Mordecai.
So,
what a name. I like that.
I heard Spencer Rattler making some noise with Florida State when he was still in high school, and I know a little bit about him. Interesting, but it's two quarterbacks that are not like spotlighted right now.
Exactly.
Because, like you said, Chuba Hubbard is going to be the face of the Big 12.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's going to have an amazing season.
Yeah.
But who knows with Oklahoma State what distractions that they're going to meet. With the Mike Gundy thing that happened earlier this year. Are some players still affected by that?
Cut that mullet off, please.
Man, but that's the homie. It's Mike Gundy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Mike Gundy for
but a player
Halloween.
spoke up about that, right? They
Chuba Hubbard did.
Yeah. So it was like, okay.
He was like, if you don't say anything, I ain't playing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play for a coach that's a racist.
Yeah, systematic racism is real. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and I mean, it might have been, people change too. I believe that people do change.
Systemic.
Yeah, systemic. But, Mike Gundy grew up in the South. He might have said some things to a player, like that one guy that came out and said, he man. But people change, man. He's not coaching a full team of, 60% of his team is probably African Americans. You're not going to go and coach a team just for the money. You got to be around these people the whole time.
Right.
So I tend to believe that, come on now. You're not going to do this unless you really love the game of football. And knowing that there are going to be African-American players that are prominently playing versus your kickers and your punters and your quarterbacks. I mean, to be completely honest. So, with that being said, guys, I know this is a longer episode. We had to get into a couple things today. We're at the 1 hour and 22nd minute mark. That's on Facebook Live, and 123 on the actual recording. So, that being said, guys, everybody take care, stay safe, wear your mask. Please just be respectful of other people. Yeah. And not all about politics here, but hopefully we have a football season that's coming soon.
Yeah, let's pray.
Hopefully everybody takes the right protocol.
Pray to the gods, football gods.
And thank you, Florida State, for changing your numbers back to white instead of gold. I just had to throw that in. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but they had the gold numbers with the white outlines.
Right.
Now they went back to the white numbers with the gold outlines.
Okay.
Because we were looking like Boston College, and I'm like,
yeah, I can see that.
Come on. Come on, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So with that being said, we'll catch you back here on episode 23 here in a couple weeks, unless the news just starts ramping up. And we're going to have probably a bigger episode like this. I just want to go ahead and get these predictions out the way because the season's about to start back up. So we'll do the AFC North and South.
Okay.
And then we'll just finish it out. Big Ten and the SEC. And we'll close it out with that. So get your predictions ready for that. We'll probably do this again on Facebook. Maybe we might have a different setup for next time. I'm working on some things. So, all right, guys. With that being said, it's never a gimme.
It's always go for two.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.